Hey, welcome to Below the Trees podcast. We got a great episode for you today. We get into the holidays, their greater meanings, and why it should bring us together. We talk Diablo's baseball, John and I's Sunday League team, and then we get into a bit about what we're thankful for. So please, do all the normal YouTube things. Pull up a chair, relax, get comfortable. This is Below the Trees podcast. Thank you for your time. Hey, welcome to the Below the Trees podcast. John, how the hell are you, buddy?
Good, bro.
Good to see you.
Caught me at a water moment.
I know.
Damn.
I'm going to take a sip too.
Cheers.
Cheers on the water. It's early morning and I work today, so alcohol probably not in the equation.
He's lying. This is pure vodka.
Hey. Don't give away company secrets. Well, good morning, man. It's early. Well, it's not that early. I got here a little early, but
Yeah.
we just started right now.
Right.
Post Thanksgiving. What'd you eat for dinner last night?
Turkey, ham, mac and cheese,
Yuca. Okay.
yuca root.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm forgetting other stuff.
Come on,
Pie.
man. Oh yeah. What pie? Oh, you had pumpkin pie.
Flan, pumpkin pie.
Choco flan.
No, just regular flan.
Okay, just regular flan.
All of everything I'm mentioning was all made at home from my girlfriend's family. So shout out to them.
Shout out to the girlfriend's family.
And
I just got a text notification.
what?
It's from World Market. I can save up to 25% off today and today only.
It's Black Friday.
Oh, that's right. It's Black Friday.
I don't know why they call it Black Friday.
You know, it's funny.
It
You
should
say
be Red Friday.
why don't they just call it Sale Friday?
Right. It's Black Friday.
It's Black Friday because all these deals are blackout deals. I don't know. Well, it's so funny you say that. I heard someone recently refer to Black Friday as the Friday after Thanksgiving. It's
Right.
almost like a PC type thing.
The Friday after Thanksgiving.
The Friday after Thanksgiving, which is kind of interesting too, but it just seems like, hey, we're not going to call it Black Friday.
Yeah.
We're going to call it the Friday after Thanksgiving celebration where you buy a lot of shit that's marked up. You know, did I ever tell you? I think you knew this. I worked at Sears. I worked at Sears in 2008, and I was a sophomore in high school.
Sounds like a job Grandpa would suggest you should take.
No. I remember I was 16. I just wanted some extra funds, so I applied for Sears for the seasonal role of associate, and I got it.
Where were you stationed?
I was stationed. That's probably accurate in the retail world because when you're working retail, it really is with these customers. I mean, this is even 2008. This is
Financial debacle.
man. That's like 16. That's 16 years ago.
Way to feel old.
God damn it. Anyways,
16 turkeys ago.
16 turkeys ago. You know, that's how I'm gonna.
Pardons ago.
That's how I'm gonna refer to everything now. Man, that was 25 turkeys ago. Jeez.
25 ham hocks years later.
Hey, John, do you remember about 4 turkeys ago we were doing this podcast? The day after turkey.
On
Man.
the Friday sales event.
On the Friday after Thanksgiving sales event.
Mass sell-a-thon.
Mass sell-a-thon. Visit www. I was way too many W's. Jesus. Well, anyways, so I was working at Sears. And it was actually, I think stationed there is probably a good analogy for it because it was like a battlefield. Working in retail on Black Friday, it was insane.
This is back when, and you can, for the millennials, or rather the Gen Zers.
Yeah, Gen Zers
And Xers.
Xers are older than us. They have the Sears
Well,
catalog.
the Xers, so this is a good one, right? So the Xers and the Zers. The Xers, remember, they were the ones storming in.
Storm the front.
to get the sales.
Charge. Let's get these deals.
Probably with their boomer parents.
Yeah.
And now these kids probably don't have any idea because everything is just shipped to their house.
Yeah, it's true. And so instead of storming the fronts of Sears, now the Gen Zers are and actually really everyone is storming Amazon.
Right.
Yeah, so that's an interesting change. But so I worked at Sears at a local mall, not too far from here. It might rhyme with Balamo. No, so I worked at the Sears. This is 2008, and man, what an experience!
How was the running of the Bulls?
The running of the Bulls. So to backtrack a little bit, I started. I believe it was in October, about a month or maybe 2 months before the actual Super Bowl event. That is Black Friday. And one of the funny things about working at Sears is you see like the worst of people, but then you also see some really nice people. People were often very friendlier than you would think. But then you got some people who are really, really rude. But Sears, and I'm sure a lot of other businesses are willing to accommodate customers. And I think, like, rude customers, right? So it's funny.
This is their day to shine.
Yeah, right? It's funny how I think you sometimes get more when you're an asshole than if you were just to be respectful and nice, right? So, like, this, I remember this lady came up, and she had, like, a fuckload of bras. I mean, she had a lot of bras, and I think they were bras by Bali or something they were called. And so these bras, they were on sale, but on the sale sign it said very specifically there was only 2 types that were on sale. So she comes in, and the ones that were on sale, she gets the sale price, and the ones that were not on sale are regular price. And so then the bill was like $200 or something. I was like, God damn. And she was like, whoa. Did you give me the sale? Well, I say, ma'am, I scanned them, and this is what they scanned. The ones that were on sale, you got the sale price. Yeah. The other ones weren't. And so she was like, well, no, they were on sale. They were on sale. I said, ma'am, these ones are not on sale. She brings me the thing. And I see it. It says Bras by Bali. I think that's the brand. And it had the 2 types. And I was like, see very clearly. It says here the 2 types that are on sale that get the sale price. And these ones, ma'am, do not have the sale price. So she's like, well, I need to speak to a supervisor. Okay, no problem. I don't care, right? So I call the supervisor. Supervisor takes an earful from this lady, this old bag, boomer. So boomer bag. Well, and so then
Fati Boombati.
Yeah, I wonder how she's doing today, by the way. So she ends up getting the sale price for all of them because she was the loudest in the room. And it was kind of a learning experience. Sometimes you should be an asshole. No, I still don't think you should be an asshole. Whoever's listening to this, the moral of the story is still not be an asshole. Even though sometimes you're an asshole, you get what you want. You will get what you deserve in the end, which is death.
Karma's a bitch.
Which is death at some point. That's our fate, right? Death.
But it's the what happens after. Anyways, that's another pod.
We'll get into it. So it was just interesting that she was able to get all those bras at the sale price and whatever. So Sears, though, I remember people who clearly didn't need credit cards, like applying for credit cards. And then I just never felt comfortable. So I was always like, in the few months that I was there, I was always on the bottom of the credit card application. I just didn't feel comfortable doing that because it's like, I remember this one lady had like, she was applying for credit. She's buying shit. And, but initially she was trying to pay with her other credit cards and they were all declined. And, okay. I'd like to apply for a credit card. I get this 10% off. All right. She got proof. You're like, oh man, this is terrible for these people. Yeah. This is someone. It was like a lesson in life. Like, man, I don't ever want credit cards. And then I remember one chick, Australian lady. I say, hey, do you want to apply for one of our Sears credit cards? And she says, yeah, absolutely. So I fill out all the paperwork, and I just said, okay, hey, ma'am, in order to run your credit now to see if you're approved, I need your social security number. Just put it here. Oh, I don't have one. I'm from Australia. Fuck. Yeah. I give up on this shit. Yeah. But then, you got your coworkers too, like working in retail, the coworkers, a lot of the same faces work at different places, right? So there was one lady I remember seeing years later, maybe like 7-8 years later, but she was working at a Kohl's. That series eventually closed anyway, so I don't think she was going to make it a career there, but she was number one in credit cards. Like number one. Her name was on the board all the time. But yeah, the coworkers, like, they're your own worst enemies sometimes. I remember, so it was during the period I was in the band. A certain guitar player was still in the band at the time, and so I had shot. There was no one in line. There was no activity at my register, so I had shot off a quick text, and I said, hey, practice tomorrow. Just something real quick, and I put it back in. And this bitch comes up to me, and she says, you're not supposed to be on your phone. Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was just shooting off a quick text. It won't happen again. Yeah, it better not. Okay, yeah, no problem. I'm new here. I'm not trying to be confrontational. I just want to get my paycheck and go home. Cool. Same night. My counter's busy as fuck. So I call for an additional person to help me check things out because, the line is long. And it's during the holiday shopping season. So the same lady who, was snapping at me, she comes, she helps me out. Okay. So we're starting to process people, starting to pick up. Her friend comes. I guess her friend just had a baby. And then literally, as I'm processing all these people, her friend busts out her phone, starts showing all these baby pictures while we have a line. And I'm looking at that like, I got to get the fuck out of this place. I hate this place already. So, after working through the Black Friday holiday, most of the Christmas season, I just said, fuck this place. I never went back. I just didn't show up anymore, which is probably not the right way to quit. But
still on the payroll
when you're like 16, 17, however old I think I was 16 at the time, I said, fuck that. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And so they called, and I just never showed up again. But, the retail warriors who are still out there, who are doing it, like, it's not the easiest job because, it's not a hard job, practically speaking, right? Processing people, checking people out, doing returns and stuff. It's not like a demanding or very difficult job. The difficult part of the job is just dealing with all the assholes, whether internal or external. And you deal with a lot of assholes. People are just so nasty. People are really nasty. And that's the thing to understand. Like during the holiday season, people just they can get really, I don't know, brings all the holiday cheer brings out their devils. So I don't understand that.
Getting colder.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little chilly here in Los Angeles. Well, it's not really that chilly. It's 61. But with a nice wind chill.
It's getting colder until now people are just being more assholes.
Yeah, but it was still a good experience. I had fun with it. Well, I did. I remember the concept of a lunch break. Like, hey, Brian, go take your lunch. Okay. And then I would go get that at the Balamo Mall. there was like a little food court not far from Sears, and it was like a pizza shop, and they had a pizza combo, 2 slices and a Pepsi for like $5 or something, and that's what I would eat every time I worked.
Jeez. And
I was a fat piece of shit. Yeah, I still am. Which I'm glad we're not talking about weight loss like one episode we planned, because talking about weight loss after Thanksgiving. Jeez. There's enough influences out there doing God's work. But Sears, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Well, did you never had any odd jobs like that, huh?
Like a retail job? No. The one shitty job I did have. I had just come back from Spain. And I figured, let me try to do some consulting work.
Mm-hmm.
So I had placed a couple ads, and I don't remember how I found this guy, but he wanted me to look at his business. It wasn't quite clear exactly what it was that they were doing.
Yeah.
Until I showed up and it became apparent. And then, as part of the duty, I needed to kind of to do the job right, I needed to kind of stick around for like a solid week to see what happens and see how everything kind of turns out.
Yeah.
So what was this guy doing?
What was he doing, John?
Well, he had a fat contract with the state to be handing out free telephones.
Okay.
And by doing so, he would then get a big rebate on these phones, and that's where he would have enough of a commission to pay his employees and himself.
It's a pretty big rebate.
And I think it was something like he was paying these people $15, $16 an hour. And for every phone, he was getting back something like $65, $75.
Okay.
Right? So he had all these people minimum wage. And it was like, you know, I did the background work to see if this is legit, because this seemed a little too odd.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it checked out. This guy was highly connected into politics.
Yeah.
Deeply rooted with the state system and doing government rebate programs in items.
Yeah.
Like this wasn't his first
product, rodeo,
right? And he just wanted to see, you know, what a top management consulting kid from Europe, because that's where I did my training, would have been able to do for his business. And like after the second day, I was like, dude, this is too shady for me.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some recording, you know, audits and accounting and this, that, and the other. And as soon as I started asking for lots of paperwork, I start getting weird questions. However, I did get a couple phone calls with this owner, with high-ranking, politically connected people and in politics. And I was just like, I'm out.
Hey, John, this is Gavin Newsom. How about you just stop asking questions, eh?
He recently just bought like a $9 million house in Marin. And I think he has less than the salary of the president, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, nice.
I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, it's good accounting. Or really bad accounting. I don't know. Well, it's funny. Your worst job is like this highly connected, borderline corrupt, slimy.
Oddly, how did I get this in the first place?
Yeah.
But it's like.
And I worked at Sears.
Yeah. I work.
That's a pretty
company that went bankrupt.
That's a pretty shitty. That's a pretty cool shitty experience, though.
Yeah.
Kind of, you get to see the underbelly of.
Well, I met this guy.
The nasty world of
now
politics.
That I'm thinking about it, I met this guy through cars, and.
.com?
No.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like we were at like a car show. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
I was looking for consulting people, but this guy had like 2 pretty cool Ferraris and Lamborghinis, and like that's what kind of got me interested to talk to the guy.
Yeah.
It was at a Cars and Coffee. And that's, I had just came back, and this guy was like, hey, I got this company.
Yeah.
I could use some help. And
well, you know, it's a good experience to have, though, I think, right?
I think the other shady one was, working with the tax office at some point, I saw some odd characters come through.
Oh, yeah. Is it the tax office?
One of them.
Okay.
But yeah, you see some odd problems with people in their taxes.
Yeah.
And this is,
Well, without disclosing any personal information, what kind of odd problems were you seeing? In a more general context.
Well, the gamut of I've seen because of my dad, I've seen a lot of stuff. And then my dad had a satellite office with a criminal attorney, and so similarly, like it's just the load of stuff.
Yeah.
So anything and everything that you can imagine. People trying to make tax deductions with their pets.
Yeah.
People trying to make claims of like business deductions when they're W-2'd. Like, there is no business. They're just.
You know, that's interesting because I'm watching Jasmine DeLuca.
Sure.
I always see her videos pop up, and her just debunking all these supposed tax guys on YouTube.
Yeah, they don't know shit.
And it's so funny. Like, oh yeah, you can deduct your haircut, 100%. Or you can. Hey, you know what? Why do the rich always drive Range Rovers? Because you get a tax benefit if you buy $150,000 and it's 100% deductible.
Kind of true, but not really.
Well, exactly. It's like a little, like they'll take half truths and peddle it as real information and 100% factual.
Yeah, because it's clickbaity. And
exactly.
That's what gets them, more clients. Remember, I did this, right? I didn't do this guerrilla bullshit.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. That's why it's kind of interesting to see, like, how all that unfolds a bit.
Right.
So.
Well, no, this is what you're talking about is somebody who is trying to garnish new clients and or sell lists of clients to other people.
Yeah.
And so, like, you're seeing 3 hustles in one.
Yeah.
And that's where you're getting this, like, kind of clickbaity, kind of I'm an influencer, kind of I also am selling and or need the business.
Yeah.
To kind of do returns or accounting or
yeah.
I'm going to sell this list. And so you're going to get this, like, marketing tactic that's just, like, clickbait.
But then that's where those clients come in at your dad's office. Because they listen to those social media guys.
Well, no, this is before this, right?
I know.
And so, like, these were people who, had heard from someone else that this is what works or this is what they saw.
Yeah.
Right? And they're just, yeah. Ugh. People, find professionals and do your vetting on these professionals and make sure that they actually know what it is. They have real background.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise, you're going to find yourself in, like, deep holes. Those aren't fun.
Or I think, too, if you find professionals, to the best, unless they're telling you something that's obviously wrong, like, I feel if you find a really good CPA or really in any field, right? If you find someone who's very professional, who's trustworthy, like, if they're giving you advice, it's from a good place, like, take that advice, right? I think sometimes people will get the experience or the trust of a professional and then just do their own fucking thing based on, maybe something they heard or maybe they're trying to be deliberately, I don't know. They're trying to deliberately do something wrong. So it's like, if you get a good advice, I can't even speak English this morning. Shit. If you get good advice, take it. I think a lot of times, it's good to deliberate on information, but a lot of times if you don't take the right information, you're probably going to do something wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's fucking, I don't know, dick. No, that's interesting though. So your bad experience with job is working with high income professionals who are trying to do something scandalous. I'm working with low income professionals who are buying a lot of shit that they don't need. Bras by Bali. She had like 20 fucking bras, dude.
She's trying to flip them.
What? You know what? I didn't even think about it. They were her size though, so maybe.
That sounds like a leaky problem. Head gasket's loose.
Ew. Well, Thanksgiving's passed now, and we're inching our way towards Christmas. What are your Christmas plans?
Christmas.
Yeah, we're very close. I mean, we're in the short path to Christmas.
So, I mean, if I'm really going to give you the best answer, it would be trying to get all of my ducks in a row so that I could potentially head down south to my parents' motherland. So that we can spend some time there because we have some family we need to see. Yeah. There's a couple projects we need to take care of. There's some things in the future I'd like to get going, and I need to be there. I need to do some things. So yeah, I think the appropriate answer is I just need to get my stuff in order and in line for the new year. So it's more of like not really celebrating, not really like being the most excited for the birth of our Lord, sweet baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
I was raised Roman Catholic. I'm making jokes. But I do see that I need to have everything kind of in line and in order to potentially travel in the next year. That's what's on my mind.
Oh, so to travel. So you're going to travel also the following year.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can't. I'm not planning on leaving this year. Just next year, just to handle some of those things down south.
No,
Kind
okay.
of stuff.
Like properties and that type of thing.
Things that we've talked about.
That sounds fun. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, so do you plan to leave or you spend the holidays in the motherland?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm saying just have everything set here.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So that in 2025,
Yeah.
I could go and handle some stuff because I need to have this set up a little bit better.
You sound like an assassin.
Absolutely not.
Go to the mainland and handle some stuff.
No. I have like a little ranch. And
Yeah. No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I need to fix it. It's got some issues,
Yeah.
when you have property that kind of just gets abandoned
By the wayside a little bit.
you need to address it. So the people who used to be there taking care of it no longer. So we need to fix it, and I want to fix it.
I had a group of coworkers. They went to your motherland recently, and they did like I think it might have been through like a church organization.
Sure,
I could be wrong, but it
sweet baby Jesus, see,
sweet baby Jesus,
bringing it all full circle.
Oh yeah, baby. No, I was just kidding. So I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, so they went to your motherland, and it was maybe I guess it was a couple hours outside of the capital, and apparently it was like a very destitute like region or city. I mean, it was so I think in a matter of like 4 or 5 days, they built 9 houses or something like that, or at least laid all the foundation for the 9 houses or whatever, and I guess more people with the organization they're with are going to come and also could contribute their time and to finish the completion of those 9 houses. But I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
because especially some of the pictures I saw. What's cool though, what's really cool in some of the pictures I saw, and obviously pictures are a little bit biased towards, everyone smiles at the camera generally, right? But the people genuinely looked like kind. They genuinely looked grateful that people were coming and helping them out and stuff like that.
sure.
So it's just an interesting look into another world almost, especially that group of people who went, to experience something like that and maybe get a different perspective on how they conduct themselves and how they live. It's interesting. It's cool to see the pictures, and I think everyone kind of mutually benefited from that. On one end you get a bunch of Westerners from California who you get to see how other people live. Probably never been to a place like I've never been to the motherland, right? But actually, fatherland in my situation.
Jeez.
But then then the actual people getting some assistance. That's cool.
Yeah.
Mutually beneficial.
Well, the whole place isn't that poor. I mean.
No, not to say it is. I guess it was really just that town is known for the poverty.
Having poverty.
Yeah. And that's why it was chosen.
Sure. Yeah.
So my workplace, they do a sabbatical thing where they send somebody for 2 weeks abroad. And it's kind of like a cultural immersion type thing. And I don't know what organization's through, but they've sent people like literally all over the world.
Sure, yeah.
Ghana, Ecuador.
Yeah.
I think they might be sending someone to China. So it's kind of a neat experience. I think I'd want to do that someday.
Or just weird way to put in intelligence officers, but whatever.
Yeah, maybe. Well, they come back with a nice video, so I don't know if there's any intelligence operations in that, but yeah, this is pretty cool. The Ghana video was awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because the employee who goes is required to take video footage and stuff like that, because they ended up coming back and editing it and all that, to show how great it is. No, but seriously, the
vacations start at only $19.99.
Yeah.
This Black Friday only.
This Black Friday.
Visit Ghana.
Visit Ghana. Buy one ticket, get one free. No, it was all the kids. I think what's cool seeing those videos is the kids, because they're always like genuinely excited to see someone new in their town or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's always the fun part about watching those videos. The adults, whatever, they probably don't care, or it's more of like, whatever. But the kids, man, they're like, yeah, fuck yeah. This guy here, he's from America. Never seen this guy before. So I thought
His name's cool. Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris. Now I'm curious with some Chuck Norris jokes.
Shoot.
Well, your holiday season then is going to be mired in planning. It sounds like getting ready,
cleaning up, and preparing. That's kind of what I honestly, genuinely think is the correct path. I shouldn't lollygag and enjoy and go to my cabin, and no, I should buckle down and get shit ready.
Yeah.
Lord knows I need to.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
No, for the holidays, I think I'll be working quite a bit, and then I'm gonna spend time with my family. We usually split, so we'll do first half of the evening with my family, and second half of the evening with her family, and then Christmas Day would be a little bit with my family and kind of just chilling at home, stuff like that. I actually have Christmas off, which is cool. It's a rarity, but yeah, it should be a good time. And then we got to plan out some podcast episodes too.
Right.
I think we've exhausted our list of episodes that we've actually skipped one today. Which leads me to actually recognize two special guests. One who hasn't, by the time of this publishing, will have already made a special appearance. Potentially. We don't know for sure. For sure. But with two special guests. So if you haven't already, check out Professor Ron and the other one. Should I say it?
It's just one of my other friends, Chris.
Yeah, check out those episodes in the description. That's Below the Trees episodes 10 and 11. This is 12, man. How do you feel?
It's good.
You got all 12 episodes under the notch, man.
We had to.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's exciting stuff. How do you feel 12 episodes in? How do you feel, man?
A little disappointed that we haven't done enough podcasts at the cabin.
That's true. Episode 1. Hey, check out episode 1, Below the Trees. Our only one in the cabin. We talk about free will.
Yeah. Other than that, no, it's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the podcast has been a lot of fun. I feel we've improved in areas for sure. We actually got a really good comment on one of our videos.
Shots fired.
A really, really great comment. So if I don't know if it's a man or a woman, or I don't know.
I think it's a dude.
I think probably a dude. Commented, doing a podcast is evidence of a bad life, or something to that effect. So hey, I just want to say, like, comment, and subscribe, man, because we love having you here. Thanks for commenting on our video.
Really helps our views.
Yeah, really shoots us through to the moon on the algorithm or whatever. So happy to have him give us some feedback. I mean, it's a little striking,
A little harsh. Yeah.
a little harsh, but I don't think we have a poor life. I think our lives are okay.
Oh no, I know. Right now, yeah, I'm personally taking care of my dad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, motherfucker. He's taking care of his dad right now, jerk.
But I definitely wouldn't say it's a horrible life.
Yeah, no,
I'm still able to work. I have my clients.
Yeah.
Everything's great, dude. It's just, it is a little unfortunate that after the jab season, a lot of people passed away, a lot of family members.
Yeah.
Me personally, I lost my mom.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest shift that kind of was like an impetus for me to say, what's something else that I could be doing that I would enjoy?
Yeah.
That I think it would be fun to learn. And for me, that was podcasts. I've always enjoyed watching, listening, and paying attention to different podcasts.
And actually, let's not short sell yourself. You are a previous podcast host as well.
A little bit.
For a minor league podcast for the Dodgers and Angels, right?
Yeah, that's true. But I kind of just I really wanted to learn this medium. I think that's it. And so putting my best foot forward is doing one, and I didn't want to definitely do it alone. So I was like, hey, bro.
Yeah.
I think you'd be down to do this with me.
Yeah.
And so 12 episodes in now.
Yeah, 12 episodes in.
Technically, there is one other episode, so it's like we have 13.
There's another episode?
There's one other episode.
Oh, the practice one we did, right? So I don't think that should ever be published.
But it's
I think that one was long too. Wasn't it like 4 hours or something, or 3 hours?
One day we'll publish it.
Right, maybe one day. Maybe not. I don't think there's anything. There was some insight there. I think it was me asking you a lot of questions. And you're like, hey, is this a financial pod or what? No, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, I would say where I am in my life right now, it's actually pretty good. I wouldn't say I'm going to... This isn't evidence that my life sucks terribly. I mean, of course, this guy's going to say, well, of course you're saying that for the cameras. Whatever. There's no sense in trying to argue that because we can't objectively verify how our lives are doing. Because I could easily go around and say, well, whose life is worse? The guy making the podcast or the guy saying the podcast sucks and you guys have no lives? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, on that scale, I would say probably the guy commenting probably has less of a good life than I do, that he has to take it out on us. But I'm not going to say that. I could, but
and let's not make this into a thing measuring contest.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't.
No, I hope if he watches this and he makes it this far into the video, which I'm assuming he probably won't. I hope he has a good life. That's what I wish for him.
I wonder what rubbed him the wrong way so hard.
Yeah, because that's a good point. Because if you have to comment something like that, something bothered you.
Yeah.
So I wonder what we said that bothered him.
Right.
I mean, even if it's a good thing, if actually we talked about this earlier off camera, in order for someone to comment positively for something that affected him, good, I think, or affected them in a meaningful way, right? That threshold for them to comment is fucking really high, where the threshold for them to comment on something negative is much, much lower. But the fact that he commented, I was just curious. Now I'm curious too. What pissed him off?
Shout out to YouTube for catching the comment and saying, is this cyberbullying?
Oh, really?
Because it's like, do you want to report this? Because this...
No, I don't want to report it.
Oh, no, we did, so...
Oh, okay, well...
That's why it's removed.
No.
The comment, but... Yeah, YouTube was like, what's up with this one? This is...
I feel like YouTube came in as like big bouncers, like, hey, buddy, not here.
Thanks, Sergey.
Yeah, oh, is it Sergey? Hey, what if it was a bot? Is it possible?
Oh, no, 100%. It probably... There are tons of other bots all over. But whatever.
It's all good. It's
just funny.
I think that's the thing. When you make something and you put it out for public consumption. You have to accept that people are not going to engage with it. People are probably going to either strongly dislike it or they just have no reaction to it all. And that's okay. Obviously we're not for everybody. I think we try to be as broad as we can for the sake of conversation. But, I'm also not mistaken that, we're some people are just not going to like us. That's okay.
Yeah.
And I don't take it personally. You can't take it personally. I think what Joe Rogan always says, never read the comment section.
Sure.
I mean, we read it because we get so few comments coming in. It's like, oh, hey, we got a comment.
Right.
But no, I still think it's interesting, and you just got to take it what it is. Don't take it personal. And it's just a grain of salt.
This is the war that we're in when we're fighting the tyranny in Podcastistan.
Well, we're just a small show, but I think
firing tiny little rounds.
Yeah, well, we I don't even think we've loaded the gun yet.
We have 33 subscribers.
No, we got 30. You know what? That makes me super happy because we were at like 6 for a long time, and to see 33 people subscribe to our channel, I think that's amazing.
And we're closing in on almost like, I think it's 300 watch hours.
Really? That's pretty good.
Maybe like 35,000 impressions, something like that.
Yeah.
Reviews, rather. So,
hey,
it's doing better than than imagined.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's kind of weird to think about that people watch the show. Not that it's not it's a bad thing or anything. Obviously, that's the intent. We want eyeballs, but to actually think that something we put out is being viewed is kind of
and consumed
is kind of an interesting thought.
Right.
Especially when you see like, oh man, who the hell's watching from Ireland?
Right.
Or the UK, Australia. Hey, shout out to our Australian and UK viewers. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Our few female fans.
Yeah, we got a few female fans too.
That's odd.
That was a little surprising. But no, I'm happy. Everyone's welcome here.
Mm-hmm.
We are a welcoming show. But speaking of that,
mm-hmm.
something we kind of talked about in today's show as an idea was what the holidays actually bring in terms of families and stuff like that.
So we're not going to do the Santa Claus conspiracies or...
Well, before we... Okay. We're going to get into that.
The history.
Actually, I want to... before we get into what the holidays mean for families, I wanted to actually talk about a movie I just saw.
Oh, okay. Movie segment.
Red One with Dwayne Johnson. It was actually a pretty all-star cast. You had Dwayne Johnson... For those of you who don't know who Dwayne Johnson is, that is The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock.
Do you smell? Can you smell?
Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
There it is.
You jabroni. It's funny. The voices, they sound a certain way when they come out, and I feel like, that's pretty accurate. I don't really know how accurate they are.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah.
What does he say? The Rock has finally come back to Madison Square Garden, and I'm gonna kick Stone Cold's candy ass all over this place. Arr, pirate eye. Now I'm raising my eyebrow. It's gonna get stuck up there. No, I had Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I think he just goes by Dwayne Johnson now, for the most part. Anyways, it had who else was in there? Lucy Liu. Her biggest movie since Charlie's Angels. No, I'm just kidding. No, she was in there, which was kind of cool. I'm trying to think who else. The other names. It was all pretty recognizable. Bonnie Hunt. Wonder how she's been doing. She's been making this movie. It's a career movie here. But okay, in all seriousness, it was actually a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it. Does the critics love it? No, it's a holiday movie. Critics generally don't like holiday movies. But the concept, so you said Santa Claus conspiracies, and this what brings this up.
Oh, okay.
So the concept of the movie is pretty interesting. So Santa is actually is real in this universe. And not only is he real, he's part of a multi-governmental secret. And so the government has this agency called Mora, the mythological organization for something rather, I don't know. But basically the organization that's tasked to keep the secret of Santa secret, but also that the mission of Christmas is fulfilled. And so they work as sort of a, I wouldn't call it a liaison, but maybe they support the mission. They're support staff, right? In addition to their jobs for keeping secret intelligence secret. Well, of course it's a movie though, so there's got to be some conflict. What happens? Well, there's this evil spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I didn't put that out first. There's this evil witch. We can't say her name though. Grilla, because apparently she can hear it from anywhere in the world. Fuck, I wish I had that kind of hearing.
No, you don't.
Oh, yeah, probably not. Bryan, he sucks. Bryan, it looks like he had way too many chicken tenders for lunch.
Don't forget about Family Guy.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know what we're doing today.
I meant the dog.
we're just bullshitting today. This episode is all about bullshitting. Well, anyway, so in this movie, Grilla, she's upset because really for the first time in history the naughty list is greater than the nice list. And so there's the first time you have this deficit in the history of the world, which is actually a pretty interesting thought, like a kind of good parallel today. Do we have more people who are on the naughty list than nice? What's going on and why is that? Anyways, this chick Grilla, she's pissed off about that. She's a shapeshifter who is actually like a 20-foot ogre chick, but she shapeshifts into she shapeshifts into a blonde witch-like lady. Anyways, and the witch was played by the most recent Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So this chick likes playing witches. I think it might be in her wheelhouse as an actress. Anyways, so she wants to punish everybody because she says this disparity of the naughty and nice list, we need to punish everybody. And there needs to be retribution against these naughty individuals. But Santa's like, no. Even if you're on the naughty list, it doesn't mean there's not nice in you, right? There's good in you. So and this witch ends up capturing Santa Claus, harnessing his energy to create these snow globes. And so if someone were to handle the snow globe, if they're on the naughty list, they get sucked in and they're trapped forever. It's like an eternal prison, so to speak.
Purgatory?
Well, no. It's a prison, not a purgatory, because you don't go anywhere. There's no end. You get stuck there, and you're a trophy for this witch Grilla. So the whole government organization, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who's the head of he's the head of the security detail for Santa.
Naturally.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, he's born for the role.
His name's The Rock.
No, it's Dwayne Johnson. I'm just kidding. No, but so that's what happens. So this government organization, as well as this ELF. This is the organization that protects Santa. The ELF, elf. I don't know if you caught that.
I did. I'm still like, why?
I'm not saying it was a great movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It was good, but I'm not saying objectively it's a great movie. So yeah, they have this. They ended up having to go find Santa and rescuing him from this chick Grilla. When it turns out they never kidnapped Santa. He was in the North Pole the entire time.
Of course.
It was a plot twist. So ultimately, what ends up happening is they save Santa, they stop Grilla, and Christmas is saved.
Damn.
But The Rock, here's something interesting to notice. His character Clint was actually going to quit the ELF because he no longer saw the good in people. And of course, by the end, he saw the good in people. He saw the kid in everyone's heart, and he decided to stay on with Santa as the head of Santa's security detail, the ELF. So
my favorite ELF member was Will Ferrell.
Oh yeah, I remember that. ELF. Santa. No, that was a good one. Now, so the Red One movie, was it great? No, it wasn't. But I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a holiday movie, right? You know, you're not going to get Oscar-worthy performances or script or anything like that. It's very much, like a simpleton movie. Like myself, I'm a simpleton, so
Come on.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And the reason I'm reminded of that is because you said Santa Claus conspiracies. And I think that's probably a pretty good conspiracy movie for Santa Claus. Maybe we do have like a secret base on the North Pole and Santa's up there making this workshop. You know, it was cool visually. His sled with the reindeer, like the reindeer were hypersonic. It could bend, warp space and time, and it's like wormholes and stuff. Pretty rad.
That's cool.
Pretty good visually. But
I think my favorite holiday.
Oh, Chris Evans was in it.
Oh.
He's from the I don't know if you heard of him. He's from the Marvel fame. He plays Captain America. Yeah, and he was also in that video with all the Avengers, and we were talking about Kamala Harris. I think he was in there. That was a good video too. No, just kidding. That sucked. No, but so Santa Claus conspiracies. That's what it was all about. So yeah, where were we going?
I don't know. All I was gonna say is my favorite holiday vehicle is the Grinch's.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was
because he's got like a 427 stroker.
Yeah,
motor,
yeah.
And he starts that sucker up. And just
it's a good sleigh.
Sounds like the Firebird.
What's your favorite holiday movie?
Probably that one.
The How the Grinch, the Jim Carrey one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
It's the stroker, though. It's the star of the show.
What's my favorite holiday? Everyone always says, every Christmas, I was roll my eyes. Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Die Hard's a Christmas movie?
That's what they say, because a lot of reasons that it takes place during Christmas, during a Christmas party at the Nakatoshi building. But I've always enjoyed seeing the memes, like remember the Nakatoshi disaster, all the terrorists that died that night and all the people that were killed. Rest in peace. But they say it's a Christmas movie just because some of the themes in the movie. Sure, I mean, but then we could say any movie's a Christmas movie, right? Mm-hmm. But fuck it, it's a Christmas movie for all intents and purposes. Is it my favorite Christmas movie? No, it's not. I think I really like Home Alone.
Home Alone?
Yeah.
If it has to be like a holiday, yeah. That's
Kevin!
pretty good.
Yeah, Home Alone's pretty good.
Air Bud is probably up there on the holiday movies. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, do you like Air Bud? I was gonna say Air Bud's pretty good.
Yeah. It's not.
Who doesn't like a golden retriever shooting hoops?
We call him Larry Bird.
Larry Bark. I think his name was Buddy.
Larry Wolf.
Larry Wolf. Oof. That was terrible. Actually, you want to hear a quick dog joke?
Please.
A guy walks into a bar. He's got a talking dog.
Okay.
And so the bartender goes to the guy. He's like, "Hey, buddy, you can't bring." Then you see the sign. It says, "No shoes, no shirts, no service, and definitely no dogs allowed." And then the guy says to him, he says, "Well, this is a special dog. This is a talking dog." I think you really like this joke, by the way.
All your jokes
start
and end in the bar.
Yeah. So the bartender goes to him and says, "Well, if you're right, if dog can talk, you can stay, and not only that, I'll give you $10,000." And the guy goes, "Okay." And the bartender says, "If it's not, if you're lying to me, I'm gonna throw you out, that damn dog, and you owe me $10,000." He says, "Deal." So his dog's name is Fido, by the way. So he says, "Fido, sit." So Fido sits. He's waiting for his next command. And the guy goes, "Fido, what's the top of a house?" "A roof." All right. "What's the top of your mouth?" Oh, oof. Hey, Fido, who's the best baseball player of all time? Oh, oof. The bartender's had enough. Throw both of them out the window. And the dog sits up. Should I say DiMaggio? Yeah, I like that one. I like that one a lot. But, well, this was going to bring up a little bit today. The holidays, I think, are unique in the sense that I think it brings out the worst in us. But also I think it brings out the best in us, too. A lot of people, especially, we were talking a little bit off camera, they have, like, split homes and things like that. So you get the holidays where, maybe as a child you got pulled apart to different locations and the anxiety that comes with that. And I think that's part of the worst of us too, especially I see it all the time where parents use their children as pawns to get at the other. Right. And I can only imagine what it does to the kids long run. You know what I mean? The amount of maybe I would even say like hate towards a parent or both parents, like, you guys fucked me up especially over the holidays. There was a movie shot, 4 Christmases. You ever see that? It has Renee Zellweger. Okay. No, is it Renee Zellweger? No, Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn. They go to their different. They have 4 Christmases because both of their parents are divorced on both sides. So they're always back and forth, and they end up having issues in their own marriage. What's significant about that movie, though, is it was shot at my old church. Yeah. One of the scenes, obviously. So it seems like there's a lot of anxiety, and a lot of it comes from just parents. I don't think looking at the best interests of their children sometimes, but looking at the best way to jab at the other. Why do you think that is?
Immediate satisfaction. Like, it's like if you already know that that fire is completely dwindled, now we're just gonna piss on it.
Yeah, piss on the grave of the relationship.
Let it just slowly go out.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes people can be so fucking catty.
So instead of being, civil about it, and there's so many other ways of doing it, let's go get the bucket of hot shit. Throw it over that. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Or we'll just throw a little bomb over it, so we'll make sure it never gets to light up ever again.
Yeah.
The whole chimney.
Yeah.
Fuck Santa.
Yeah. Light a fire. Where does Santa go? How does he get through the fire? Burns his ass.
All the holiday spirit is gone now.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the shitty part about it is because some parents, I think, maybe they get that immediate satisfaction. They brought pain to the other person. It just seems to me that sometimes those interests trump what's really best for the family unit, whether that's the kid or, divorce. It sucks. But it's a fact of life, right? Yeah. I mean, 50% of marriages end in divorce.
But you don't have to be petty about it.
Exactly. I think, but divorces get so nasty because money's involved too, right? That maybe infidelity was involved. Maybe there was betrayal of some sort. So there's all sorts of reasons why people get divorced. Sometimes people just fall out of love, right? Yeah. But to me, when it gets so nasty like that, there's only collateral damage, right? Like, I don't think anything that one person does to the other is really gonna stick. You know what I mean? Like, if one former spouse goes to the other former spouse and does something really dirty, like, at the end of the day, I think the one who got done dirty doesn't really give a shit. It's just they're gonna be like, oh, fuck you, I'm gonna do you dirty next time, and it just keeps going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and really, like I said, there's only collateral damage, just the kids or whatever other family member who might be involved, who has to be involved or something like that. So it's just shitty that's the case. And I feel like it shouldn't be, John. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all. I think that's sad. And really the byproducts of it is, you have kids who resent you. You have your memories are just filled with anger or hurt or betrayal or whatever the case may be. And the holidays are always going to be a source of contention when it should be, at least on the surface, it should be a time that people come together and celebrate with one another. Even if you take religion out of it, or if you take, aspects of the holidays out of it, I think, regardless, like, people come together on the holidays, whether it's for a meal or to exchange gifts and stuff like that. So,
but I mean, the other deeper side, I guess, would be like a holiday season is the reminder of the end, right? The end of a year.
Yeah.
The end of that cycle. And for some people, even like, it doesn't help that the weather gets cold.
Yeah.
Like, literally everything changes. The seasons change.
Yeah.
We move from summer to fall to winter, right?
Yeah.
And in a place like this, LA, we don't normally feel all those changes.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of joking when I say it, but like, seriously, it's the cold. Like, we're not used to that. We're not used to that rawness of nature, right?
Yeah.
Coming in and slapping us in the face saying everything is supposed to die right now.
Yeah.
Right? If you are a tree and you live outside and it gets cold enough, you die, in effect, right?
Yeah.
Until the new season, until the first new sunlight, right?
Yeah.
So that death is also a point of reflection, and it's a point of reflection that most people don't want to have, right? Because that introspection of taking a step back, especially when in most people's lives they have to stop working, they're given time off, the holiday season.
Yeah.
So this is all, if these are deep ingrained rooted traumas or wounds, every year new salt on it, and it just keeps getting bigger and deeper. And if you don't address them, you don't have family, you don't reach out with anybody, you're not willing to do the work to basically revitalize yourself, to be reborn for the new season in spring, and you're just going to be this
shell.
Yeah. And you're the lobster that never leaves its shell. Or you're the eagle that never decides to break its beak to get a new one. And so then you're literally going to suffer and die.
Yeah.
You'll be alone. So it's like, unless you're willing to connect with other people, to have a little bit of, like, if we want to call it Christmas joy, right? Probably not the right set of words, politically speaking, right? But to just be a happy person, to be thankful, to be grateful, to be understanding, also, to have a sense of appreciation of other people's differences, because we're starting all kinds of new holiday seasons. Like, it's pretty soon. Well, I think today is like the Jewish beginning. Couple days like Kwanzaa, couple days like everything, Christmas. Everybody's having their own
celebrations.
So you have to have a little bit of empathy and sympathy for other people and other cultures. Your own family, your own life. And if you don't, then you look like the straight up shell of the asshole. That's just walking around cutting everyone off.
Sounds like a Scrooge. Kind
of. I mean, that's why that character was highlighted, right? So, I mean, you can take the religious aspect, but I think in the end, let's just look at nature and what nature is doing. So right now it's snow, it's icy, it's cold up here. If we move further south, it's summer. And sometimes maybe that's what you need. Just move down a little bit further down into the summer and get some of that sun, because you're
or red light.
Well, you said it, not me.
Yeah, no, I mean, you make a lot of good points there. You know, especially when it comes to the seasons and change and stuff like that. It's interesting that when the year turns over and there's finality to the previous year, there's always, I mean, that's why we do New Year's resolutions and shit like that, because it feels new, right? You started a new year, a new cycle. There's going to be new challenges. And I think when the calendar turns, I'm always thinking like, what's fucking next? Well,
Right.
I feel like every year there's always going to be something really positive and really good, and there's always going to be something that's negative, or at least something that's perceived generally as bad, whether it be like a death or
Trump getting shot at.
something happening, right?
Israel and Gaza.
So
Ukraine.
it's just like you know, like you said, man. I think the winter is definitely symbolic of death and the end. But on the other note, too, it's like when it's cold, what do? You bundle up, right? I think that's where you spend time indoors, right? That's when historically, right? Like if you have shelter, you're gonna be sheltered in the winter with warm fire and stuff like that. So that's why I feel like, hey, when things are so bad, that's when we need to come together, right? If winter is symbolic of death in the end, that's when it's like, hey, what do we do when we're experiencing hardship? We come together. And so it just sucks that sometimes people put their own greed, their own anger, their own hurt in front of what's good for their families or even for them individually, to maybe score some points or make someone hurt. My hope is, during this holiday season, that someone who is experiencing that anger or frustration at their lives or their circumstances or their family, it's like, hey, this is the time. It's cold, just like you said, but you're only going to, if you isolate yourself and you're outside in that cold, you're going to die, right? You need sustenance. You need warmth. And I think even if you experience hurt from your family, you're going to get that from family. And sometimes it takes just having a little bit of a humility pill. Because if you look at any problem you have in your life, for the most part, or any interpersonal conflict that you have, I think we'd be remiss to say that, you had no part in it, right? Everyone has a part to play in interpersonal conflict.
Yeah.
So recognizing what your role in that is, and maybe taking accountability for that, error or whatever it was, I think that's one step to rekindling some of those family bonds, to rekindling some of those friendships, to getting back inside and getting warm when it's cold, is you have to take accountability sometimes. And I think for people that's difficult, but it's a necessary first step to recognize where you were wrong. And then here goes the thing. The magic part about that, sometimes recognizing and taking accountability for your own actions, the other person says, you know what, you're right. I fucked up too. Let's fucking meet in the middle and get warm together. So I think for those families, especially, divorcees and stuff like that, and the families where the kids are split, like, hey, recognize both of you guys are part of the problem. And, now is not the time to score points. Now is the time to link up, get together, and at least be cordial.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think we should ever, put our kids in the middle of those types of situations where now they have to choose and there to be some acrimony because of that choice. Because it's one thing that's been reflecting on a little bit is realizing that something I may have said in the past, like, I don't know what sticks, right? I know what sticks with me.
Yeah.
When someone says something to me, I'll remember that. But I don't know what I say that affects somebody or makes them think, or, oh, hey, Bryan said this and that really stuck with me. It could be like a really fucking, something, a throwaway line that really resonated with someone. I don't know. So it's just recognizing that you have the power to influence others, especially during this time. And just hopefully hopefully for the sake of your kids out there, you guys just leave that positive influence, because you don't want that thing to stick with your family to be the shitty part of you. Because the shitty part always seems to stick the hardest. It's the lowest threshold to meet, to be angry, to be mad, to say something fucked up. But it's the hardest one to get rid of. It's like if someone throws your egg on your car in the hot sun. That shit is hard to take off. I know that from experience, because some fucking asshole cracked an egg on my windshield in the hot sun. It took forever to come off.
Yeah.
So, holidays, man. Rough business.
Let's take a break.
Yeah, because I got to piss. Hey, we're going to edit that part out. Maybe not. I don't know. We're back from our break. We drank quite a bit of water.
Yeah.
Before, during, and even more before. When I was at home. I drank quite a bit of water and hydration fluids. So I think I was like the third or fourth time I've gone pee this morning in the last 2 hours. Nice. But where we left off, I think to sort of button it up.
Christmas and family. Thanksgiving, the holidays. Thinking about it.
To sort of sum it up, I think the holidays are important. I think the holidays are really important. Because just like you said, it's a time of dying. I think it's also the beginning of that rebirth cycle, as you talked about. And it's a good time for us to be reflective of how the year went and unfolded for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's good to celebrate with others, I think, that the year is coming to an end. And when you're cold, you warm up. You have to, because that's how you survive. So I think on all these different points that we talked about, I think the holidays are important for a number of reasons, and a lot of it has to do with just interconnectedness and being together, and just sharing some time with one another, because that new rebirth year is going to encompass changes you may like, changes you may not like, right? Everyone's change to the following year is going to be slightly different. So why not reflect and be thankful for the year that you just had? And I think the holidays give us a good opportunity to be reflective of the year we just had and for what we currently have, right? Because the following year's holiday may be different.
Right.
And it's always good to take honest assessment of how things went and bask with others in the successes and the glories and all the good things, and then maybe share a cry or two with those same people for the loss at the same time.
So since we're talking about loss,
mm-hmm.
let's talk about Diablo baseball.
The holidays are a reflective time. Oh, Diablo baseball. What a sense of joy and anger. On a positive, I think I had a lot of fun. I feel like I was never good at baseball. I never played. So this is my first go at organized baseball, and I had a damn good time overall. I enjoyed getting out there. Going in the outfield is my primary position. Never got to pitch, so I'm a little disappointed in that. Especially, I feel like I probably could have. I felt okay. I was fucking practicing grips and everything, and when we would throw, I would try to mix in some of those grips in our catch sessions. So I feel like I probably could have done it. Would it have been good? Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I got some swing and miss stuff.
You gotta try it.
Yeah. But that part I'm disappointed that I never got the opportunity to try for the Diablos. But overall, I think the season was fun. We won one game. An exciting game, to say the least. But that was it. And we lost every other game that we played. And now
that's besides the point.
That's besides the point. I think the frustrating part is not that I won't be able to individually play anymore. I think the frustrating part is to honestly, some of those kids, dude, I think they are good kids. Like, there's a couple on the top of my head. I think, man, these guys, if they wanted to play baseball and be good at it, and maybe take it to college ball and further, who knows? I think there's one on the top of my head for sure, I think has the potential to go that route. But will it be imagined? I don't know.
It's up to them.
It's up to them. And I think the decision to cancel the season was probably an easy one for the head coach. People just didn't care, and that's the frustrating part. You can't force someone to care, right? You can't you can't force people to buy your ideas, right? I think the responsibility on our head coach's end would be to try his best to sell the ideas, and maybe there was something different he could have done, maybe not, I don't know. But if there's no buy-in, you're never going to have cohesion, you're never going to grow, you're never going to learn. You have to buy into the ideas. And that was the frustrating. You had a lot of kids who had a lot of potential, but no one cared enough to buy in and make it a commitment. And the commitment it was minimal, right? Which is the other frustrating part. It's like no one's asking you a lot, right? Like, if you have to miss a game for work or family stuff, like, whatever, that's fine. Just communicate. That was never an issue. Like, just communicate. If you can't do something, like, I sacrificed some time, some paid time off, sleep.
Definitely.
To attend some of the games because I wanted to, right?
Yeah.
And so just, I don't want to be selfish and say, like, oh, it wasn't reciprocated. I'm not going to say that. But, it just disappoints me that, we couldn't get it together as a team so we can continue. Like, I had no problem doing that, losing some sleep because I wanted to play.
Right.
No problem at all.
No, for sure. So
it's disappointing because I some of those kids I genuinely I think are good kids and I liked playing with, but like I say, you can't force someone to care about something. And then a part of me wonders too, and I know you've talked about it. Like, I wonder if where we were at geographically. I wonder if that had a role in it.
In the hood. And we don't want to, as coaches, because I'm one of the assistant coaches, we don't want that behavior of lollygagging and no communication, not really caring.
Yeah.
If I play, I play. If not, I don't care.
Yeah.
You can't have that going into a regular season and expect these kids are going to be there when push comes to shove and we actually need them to show up.
Yeah.
And if they have this attitude right now, imagine in a real game, real season, do you think they're going to continue the way they are, or are they actually going to show up? I think, along with head coach, it would get worse.
Yeah.
And so we don't, as men, right, as responsible men, don't want to be stuck in a situation where we have to tell the other coach, hey, sorry, all our boys forfeit and quit. Sorry you had to come out here with your bus, the umpire, and everything else.
Waste everybody's time.
And we have to pay for this.
Yeah.
Because our kids don't understand what it means to show up.
Yeah.
That's horrible, bro. Like, that's disgraceful.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, I think about if you see a team that in any sport or anything, right? If you're in something competitive, if you have a group that shows up, is on time, or is early, right? A group that they are, everyone's on the same page. Everyone has that comparable level of discipline. Even if they don't have the best skills, I think they're more likely to perform as a unit and perform a lot better. And I just think our team lacked total discipline. Like it was just getting people to come in on time or getting people to, have some hustle.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one thing I remember in sports teams I played when I was younger. The expectation is you were to run from point A to point B, or you were to jog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not walk.
Yeah.
And so it's funny, you see those things like, oh man, they're just walking. And so I didn't feel, maybe it was my place, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe it's trying to say something.
You could have.
I could have. And that was probably a growing experience for me. Is like, hey, you know what? I need to fucking, if I see something, I need to fucking say something.
Sure.
And I'm wondering if it would have had any impact. Maybe not, but at least I would know.
Yeah. Like
I know where we stand, where things are. But yeah, that was a kind of a disappointing thing. Diablo's baseball, man. R.I.P.
And I can tell you, I talked with Chris about it, that it wasn't a thing that started from like the top. Like it's not from the coaches.
Yeah.
Coaches were there. We showed up. We were attentive.
Yeah.
We were making sure everything was set up. I think in the course of this whole season, only got upset at them maybe twice. Actually upset. And it's over something similar. It's just like disrespect, lack of intent, lack of care.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of calling it out. That was early on. And so for this team, what I have noticed from last year's team, where we didn't have this problem, is the captains. Those captains were seniors and they left.
Yeah.
And these new captains, they don't want to stand up. They don't want to show up. They don't want to be captains.
Yeah.
Because that's what a captain is supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're supposed to hold everyone else accountable and say, hey guys, we need to show up to practice, because if we want to get better, that's where we get better. Or, hey guys, at least out of self-respect for these two other adults who are showing up here, or in this case, 3 adults, because at some point they were happy to see you show up to practice. They're like, hey, where's Bryan? Bryan's not here? No, man, he's working. They're like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, and they understand that, but they don't respect it. They didn't respect it, and they didn't respect us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it boiled down to.
Unfortunately.
No.
So, we can't give highlights on how we did. No more phenomenal potential games or highlights. I can't hear about how many strikeouts you had.
Yeah. Well, I the last couple ABs I had, I think I made contact. I just got out.
I meant like you pitching, bro.
Oh yeah, well.
I was waiting for that. I was hoping that one day you would be like, all right, man.
I struck out 10 in 5 innings. I threw a perfect game.
4 pitches.
I threw a perfect game. Yeah, right. No, I'll miss it, I think. It was, like I said, it was disappointing because I really did have a lot of fun. But who knows? Something else I'm sure will pop up in the future. Maybe not with that group, but just
spring. You can play in the spring if you'd like.
Yeah, maybe find get drafted.
Pretty much.
Play for the Piratas and not understand anyone.
That's all right.
No, that's all good. But yeah. So I mean, I think the thing that disappoints me the most is just to see the potential of some of the kids just go by the wayside. Yeah. Because it's not even just for Diablo's baseball, just for
baseball's sake,
but just for, honestly, like for them.
Well, you could see.
Yeah.
You didn't see them before we started coaching, but you did say like there's a couple guys in there who like they look pretty good, like
yeah,
because we worked hard. This is 2.5 solid or 1.5 solid years basically working with these group of kids.
Yeah,
something should have come of it, and it did.
Yeah,
but it's like they're so close to mining the real gold, and you can see it because you've seen enough professional baseball to be like, hey, they're getting there.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not fully there, but like they're getting close.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, okay, that's the years now. Now you just need to stack on that.
Yeah.
And you'll get there. You'll get really, 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 really good. Promise. I promise. You just have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And they don't want to. And so that's it. It's over. Done.
Yeah. And that's the disappointing part. And not even just baseball, because it's like if that's how they treat something that they're supposedly passionate about.
For fun.
That's fun. It's like, what are you going to do? What more do you want with your life? Like, and what are you going to do with your life? And that's the thing about sports. Sports has always been a perfect analogy, especially baseball, because the season is so long and there's so many tribulations, so many adjustments that you can make to get a better at bat or to pitch better. Like, there's so many applications and direct comparisons with the real world that it just makes me worried that when it comes to challenging life, they're gonna kind of treat it the same way as they did their baseball.
And so, like, for our pod's sake, hitting at the core of like, how do we make better men?
Yeah.
The same question I asked Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask you. Like, so what do we say to them? Like, how do we help them?
The kids?
Yeah, because if this is just a baseball thing, and like you said, let's extrapolate this out. Chris was saying, let's look at a 10-year study on them and see how they turn out.
Yeah.
I'm like, what could we say to them right now that would kind of just like cause everything to go into different directions for the better?
I don't really know if there's much. I think, because here goes the cat. I'm thinking about what I would say in that situation, but to sort of preface that, I think it doesn't really matter what you say. There's just people who are not going to listen, and when you speak to a group of people, right? I think you're really speaking to one or two people, right?
That's
because most likely out of that group of people, there's going to be 90% of them who kind of blow you off.
Right.
So if I were speaking, though, I think one thing I would say, carefully choose my words here. I'd probably say what I think is the best advice I've heard is that, you know, there's really no one knows what the final destination is for you, right? You don't know what exactly you're going to be. You don't know how far you're going to go in sport or whatever. But again, because I'm thinking about them as individuals, as people who are going to vote, soon, who are going to be members of the workforce soon. Taxpayers. I would just say, hey, look, you don't know where you're going to end up. You might have an idea, you might have a path that you want to take, but you don't know. And so that's a factor that's not fully out of your control, but maybe a little bit, right? Because everyone's dreams or goals, like think about the stuff that you wanted to do, for example, in your career. It hasn't been exactly what you set out for, right? You've had to adjust 100%. And make changes and figure out what works best for you. And I think the only way you do that, though, is if you work hard. Number one, understand that your expectations are likely not going to be met to their fullest. So the one thing that you can control is to work hard and be kind to people. That's it. I think that's all that you can do. That's in your control, right? The great quote, God grant me serenity to, basically change what I can and accept what I can't, and then the wisdom to know the difference. And I think how you gain that wisdom is you just work hard and you be kind.
Right.
Because you're able to really figure out in that model, what's the right thing, and how do you respond to things, right? And if you work your ass off and whatever you do, you're going to be somewhere good.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's probably what I would tell those kids. Whether that's baseball, I think for some of them it definitely could be going down that path. Whether it's as a coach role down the line, or as a player, or something, right? There's a few guys that I think have potential to be really good, but all of them, like, I think a lot of times we have a tendency to look at our circumstances and say, well, this is the life that I got, and this is how it is, so I'm going to use that as my excuse for everything, of explaining why I can't be a productive member of society. And that might work for some people if you're happy with that.
Yeah.
But, I've said this on the pod before, but everybody's dealt a series of cards. Only you choose how you play with it. Mm-hmm. And so if you play the best possible hand you can every time, doesn't mean you're always going to get it right, but at least you're trying.
Yeah. And
with whatever new data you accumulate from the previous try, how to, that might inform your decision making the next go around.
Right.
So that's what I would probably tell those kids in a maybe less wordy way. But I don't know, man. It's hard to say. You're, like I said, I think you're only going to be speaking to 10% of the people.
It's fine.
And that's what matters too, right? Because now if you influence 10% of the people, that 10% has the potential to influence the rest of them, right? Because who do you listen more to? Your peers, or someone who's talking down or talking to you?
Right.
So, you know what I mean? I think we glean a lot of insight from our peers, and whether that's good insight or bad insight, that's all, that's all subjective, I guess, to be determined.
Right.
But I would hope someone speaks to those kids and says, "Hey, motherfuckers, like, lock it up," because we don't need more people fucking around and living shitty lives, doing things they probably shouldn't be doing. We need more people to bring good in the world. I think that's what's important. But we'll see, man. What would you say to the kids? Probably a little less diplomatic than me. Because you worked with them for what, almost 2 years, right?
Almost.
Yeah.
Like a year and a half, yeah. If not baseball, try to find something that you can get obsessed over. And hopefully it's something good. Like, good in the sense of, like, virtuous. Because you can get obsessed over tons of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Get obsessed over something and try to deeply understand it. Because if you could do that, then you'll know how to apply that to damn near everything.
Yeah.
And so with Chris, we were talking about video games and upgrading, World of Warcraft characters, basically, as the objective of the game. And you go on quests and side quests, and you meet people and friends. And, I mean, that's the analogy of life, right? You need to find something, your skill set, and upgrade the hell out of it until you become one of one, right? And it's uniquely you.
Yeah.
And you can only do that with a lot of discipline, patience, a pursuit of excellence, and just trying to do the right things all the time. And if you can learn that from getting obsessed, because clearly baseball wasn't it for you.
Yeah.
I was obsessed over it. I obsessed over trying to make them better, and doing it in the best of ways. And it's just sad that they don't want to continue their own learnings.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, I was giving them lots of information until they understood what they were doing wrong.
Yeah.
And now the questions I would receive were more focused on technique, nuances, instead of general questions. And so I thought they were on the path to learning. But instead, it's something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, learn how to become obsessed.
That's a good point. That's a really good point, because I think when you're obsessed with something, you dedicate a lot of time, energy.
You get lost in it.
You get lost. Let's hopefully they get obsessed in something positive.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Something virtuous.
Yeah, that's a good word, virtuous.
I'm not saying, something good. You can get obsessed over tires. Like,
yeah.
Fine. Whatever.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Virtuous. I think for me, a synonym of virtuous is something that's productive.
Usually.
Right? I'm sure there's something in Latin for virtuous.
Sure, but I'm not suggesting, go head over heels for paint.
Did you say paint?
Paint.
Okay. Well, yeah, it could become painters.
You could, but you could easily sniffing paint, sniffing glue.
No. That's what you meant. Yeah, well, those Diablo kids, I really hope the best for them.
Them damn deviled kids.
It's crazy, man, and I think about this a lot. It's like there's always going to be a last time you talk to someone. There's always going to be a last time for something. Because like we've talked about, I think one of the themes for today's episode is just finality with the holidays. So there's always going to be a last time you talk to someone, and it's funny. You sometimes you just don't know when that was, and so I think about the last practice I had is probably the last time I'll ever see or talk to any of those kids.
True.
Which is sort of a weird thought, that there was finality to that, and I didn't even know it at the time.
Yeah.
So on that note, remember, guys, you don't ever know when it's the last time for something. So that's why I think the note is to always, cherish it in some way, make the best of it, because you don't know when it's over. Could be hit by a bus or something. And on that note, John, what's in the news? Have you read the news lately? You haven't read any news lately?
No, dude.
Actually, I've been sort of offline a little bit.
Yeah, I'm dealing with motor issues, stroker issues, fixing the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I gotta help my buddy do some work on his car.
Yeah.
No, man, I'm too busy to be reading headlines to care about them.
Yeah.
This is why we do the pod.
That's true. That's true. I feel a little bit out of the loop, man. In the last.
But what is there to say? I mean.
Well, I know. I'm saying just in general, I feel a bit out of the loop because. So my reason I wasn't.
Did they shoot at Trump again?
I don't think so.
Okay, well then.
Well, I guess some part of the news is all of Trump's picks.
Oh, okay.
Some of the picks are.
Some of his wild cards.
Some of the wild cards. No, but what I was going to say, I feel a little bit out of the loop because so I was out of town.
Yeah.
While you were doing the pod with our special guests.
Yeah.
And it's weird. You're gone for half a week or whatever, and just how much And traveling is a little draining anyways,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you have to drive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a great way to disconnect. And then, at least for the purpose of this show, sometimes like, ooh, I don't know shit. I don't know dick what's going on. And then, so to...
Are you saying you missed the pod?
Yeah, I missed the pod.
Oh.
Yeah.
We missed you, Brian.
I missed the pod. This is a good part of the week. It's always something to look forward to and have these conversations and stuff like that. So, yeah, I missed the pod, dude. But it's just weird being out of the loop a little bit.
Okay.
Especially when like with news or like I still have not fully caught up with life really, because since my little getaway with my wife, only because as soon as we got home, a lot of it was preparing for the holiday. There was work, obviously. It was not a whole lot of like, hey, let's think about the world for a moment,
Nope.
So I feel a little bit of in a haze, in a good way. I feel recharged. We bought a lot of wine.
Damn.
A lot of wine from Paso Robles.
Nice.
Or as some people call it, Paso Robles. I guess depends where your origin is from. Some people say Robles. And then every time someone says Paso Robles, it makes me think of Barney Rubbles. So I don't know. That's always comes to my mind. But yeah, it was a lot of wine. A lot of good wine tasting. Actually, no, we didn't really go to that many wines. We went to 4. But we spent a lot of time. We really enjoyed the wineries. Some shout outs I want to give. I think it's called Calcareous or Calcareous, one of the two.
Okay.
It's the highest it's the highest winery in the region in terms of altitude. Yeah, correct.
Wow.
Not that high, like 1,500 feet or something. But it's the highest in the region. And it was good. Their wine was actually really, really good. I mean, every wine we tried this time was pretty good. Calcareous is probably the biggest one we went to, but then we went to a couple smaller ones. We didn't go to Justin or Dow or any of the big ones this time. We just went to some sort of smaller boutique, 2,000 cases a year.
That's cool.
So a lot of the wines, I think with the exception of one, they don't have any in stores or anything like that. So you can only get it at the vineyard, and tasty. I think this year's star was the Petite Syrah. I think that's the one we walked away like, oh yeah, we like the Petite Syrahs a lot this year. Last year was Zinfandels. Zins are still great.
Yeah.
And that's what the region is known for typically. But the Petite Syrah, oh man. I think that's what we bought, at least one Petite Syrah from every winery. Or at least 3 of them. So, a lot of wine.
There he is.
Great wine. My wine collection probably doesn't keep up with Kamala's, though.
Or
Newsom's. Yeah, he probably drinks quite a bit, huh?
Yeah.
Because he owns a winery.
Duh, that's how he made his money.
Is he the winemaker? Or he pays someone to make the wine?
He got money. Yeah, fun fact on Newsom.
Here we go. Fun fact, Newsom. Fun fact on Newsom. Yeah.
I got 2 of them.
John, what are the 2 fun facts?
We share the same birthday.
Interesting.
So I understand his asshole behavior. I'm like, I get it.
It kind of looks like a Ken doll. In like the worst way.
You can tell him that.
Are you buddies?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Second thing.
So same birthday.
Which is weird, right? And then the second thing is like, yeah, he made all of his money by getting an investment from, I believe, the Getty family. Right?
Oh.
And it was startup money because he was starting a new vineyard. And the Getty family gave him the money, and it worked. It was a successful venture.
Yeah.
In creating and acquiring wine brands all up and down California. And that's how he made his money.
So he's a conglomerate.
Yeah.
Interesting.
In the wine business. So it's kind of ironic when I was going to say the jab season,
Mm-hmm.
where he's telling us you can't go outside, and he's outside enjoying his wine.
Yeah, see, that's the shit that bothered me during COVID. You know, it all goes to buy-in, right? How do you get people to buy in? You're consistent. And he was not consistent. He was hanging out at the French market. What a jerk.
That's my boy.
Yeah, what a jerk. You know who I share my birthday with?
Who?
And almost exactly 110 years.
Oh, shit.
He's 110 years older than me. FDR. January 30th.
There you go.
FDR. He was born in 1882, though. So he's kind of an old fucker.
Yeah. Kind of dead.
Yeah, he passed away. Rest in peace, FDR. In the end, I think the polio really got to him. I'm just kidding. I don't know if it did or not.
The SV40. What? Dr. Jack.
He didn't have enough red light, FDR. He needed more red light.
Oh.
Man. Man, I feel out of the loop, dude. It's one of those things where
The loop isn't that big, bro.
That's true. That's true. Loop
there's not
isn't
much.
huge.
There's not much to loop around. I don't. Yeah.
Well, my mustache is growing.
Clearly. Looks good.
I got some weight up the top of the lip there.
It's a walrus.
I'm a walrus. I'm going to shave it pretty soon. Probably.
Why?
I might shave it at the end of the year.
Mutton chops?
Nah, I'm not going to do mutton chops. Hey, brother. I'm getting to that point where my mustache is starting to say, hey, brother. Oh, man. Look, you got a full setup there. Do you shave?
Huh?
Do you trim it?
What?
Do you trim it?
Yeah, I have to. Come on.
With what? What do you trim it with?
An axe?
The axe, man. Hey, if our lives were so bad, would we just be sitting here joking around?
Right?
I don't think so. I think we'd probably be very morbid.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're very morbid today.
No, absolutely not. Life is great, dude.
Life is great. And
minus the Pontiac that needs love.
the Pontiac does need love, man. It looks good, though. You know, before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you, John, what are you thankful for this year?
What am I thankful for?
Yeah, considering that the holiday of thankfulness, Thanksgiving, has just ended.
Well, honestly, really thankful for my friends.
Yeah.
Because I got to see, 3 of them all in successive order.
Yeah.
You included.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So, I mean, like, because, yeah, you were gone for a bit. We weren't able to record, but then I was able to reconnect with Professor Ron. I was able to talk to Chris, and now you.
Yeah.
And it's all happened kind of like this week, real quick, real fast.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun, and I get to be really appreciative of who my friends really are, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And, I was kind of reminiscing on the fact that, like, last pod that you and I had, we were talking about, like, yeah, dude, it's been more than a decade since I've been in Spain.
Yeah, which is wild to me.
And so I need to go visit those guys, because those are some friends that I have out there too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna plan on trying to record some pods if I make it out there to visit some of these friends, because I think I enjoy documenting this for the sake of documenting it.
Yeah.
These are my friends. These are my crew. And yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate you and
Thanks,
appreciate
man.
everyone. So that's what I'm grateful for. Grateful for my friends.
That's awesome, dude. I'm grateful for you too, man.
Cool.
I think this is an outlet you know, I think my expectations are for. Let me rephrase that. I think I don't really care. I care about the outcome in a sense that I want it to be good, right? Like I want what we put out to be good, but I don't care so much about like any notoriety or anything like that. I think what I enjoy is, like I said in earlier episodes, man, I just enjoy hanging out and chatting with you. I feel like it's allowed us to, deepen our friendship quite a bit, and I enjoy that. I think that's what I get most out of it, and I'm thankful for you too, man. A lot to be grateful for this year. Obviously it hasn't been without challenges and stuff like that, but obviously family and friends have been bedrock and for this year for me, and I'm really really happy. Another year is coming, and hopefully continue some of that growth and development and strengthen bonds, dude. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. And this has been fun, dude. I think what's crazy to me is that, eventually one day this podcast will be over. But then even if it were to end today, like we got hours of content that will forever exist.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a weird feeling, but a good one at the same time.
And I had that same thought, with when I was doing it with Professor Ron and I was doing it with Chris, and I was like, damn, if YouTube never shuts this down, we have this documented on the internet forever. Wild.
That's interesting. Interesting thought, like something we created, whether again, notwithstanding the notoriety or how impactful it is to the broader audience, it was impactful to us, and it's been a treat.
And we both notice the gravity of it too, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's interesting, man.
Surreal.
Kind of. I always thought about there was this NPR series years ago, back when NPR was really good.
Shots fired.
Yeah. NPR had this series where they took, and they might still do it, to be honest, I don't know, but someone would send an interview in. They would interview, like a parent would interview, or a child would interview the parent or a grandparent or something, and then they just have these like pretty raw conversations about something.
Yeah.
And then it would get archived at the Library of Congress.
Yeah.
And I always thought, man, because one day, like we said, there's a finality to everything, right? And including people in our lives that we really care about. And it would be really great to have those conversations too with family, because eventually they're not going to be here anymore, and they might exist somewhere else, but they don't exist here.
Like I said, that was part of my impetus.
Yeah. And it's like, man, what a privilege it would be to have that conversation, if just for the sake of having it saved somewhere.
Yeah.
Where you can always go back and listen to the voice. Like, it's funny. So, I watch a lot of outside of the whole conspiracies. I think with 9/11, there's a lot of like somber realities, and so. Like this one guy, firefighter, he left a voicemail on his answering machine letting know his wife that he's going to be late. And obviously he never went home. And so it's one of those old recordings.
Yeah.
And she listens to it every day, even to the present. And it's like, she was like, and one of the things she said that stuck with me was like, some people that I know will never hear their husband or their wife's voice again, but at least I have that. And so that's interesting, and I think that's one reason like I really enjoy this, like, and I really would like to get conversations too with family members.
Yeah.
To to have that, because one day it is all gonna be over. And then what kind of life did you live? What kind of ideas did you leave behind? And I kind of like Mike Tyson though. Did you see this? And he was talking to the little girl.
No.
So.
Oh, like the 14-year-old girl?
Yeah. I kind of agree with him though. I don't really care so much about a legacy or anything like that. But that thing was the funniest video. This little girl, I guess she's an influencer. I don't know who she is, but she's got some sort of social media following, and then she's talking to Mike Tyson about legacy, and he's like, I don't give a shit about legacy. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if I don't want people thinking about me when I'm dead. Mike, she's 14.
You don't care.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. So, but at the same token, I think having, at least for family purposes, leaving something behind like that, it's nice. It's good. John, I think it's that time. I think we've exhausted the episode that we have nothing planned for.
I have to pee again.
And we have to pee again. So, I think we'll end it here. Do you have any closing thoughts? I know you never do, but I always ask. It's worth asking.
No.
Perfect. All right. Hey, this is the Below the Trees podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Episode 12. We made it to episode 12 for our 33 subscribers. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching, listening, and tuning in with us. For over 300 watch hours. This is wild to me. So please do all the normal YouTube things. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. This is Below the Trees podcast. All right, quick intro. Hello, welcome to the... I think it is Below the Trees podcast. Hey, welcome to Below the Trees podcast. We got another great episode for you today. We talked a lot of bullshit here today. I don't even remember what we talked about. Okay, what did we talk? We talked about the holidays. We talked about the Diablos baseball. Those are the big highlights. Being thankful. There we go.
I'm going to go pee.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. I think I got this in one take, baby. Or by the third take. Hey, welcome to Below the Trees podcast. We got a great episode for you. We're just on the end of the Thanksgiving season, so we talk the holidays. We talk expectations. We talk all these great things. And I got to try again, even though I'm all by myself. I'm all by myself. No one's here watching me doing my stupid intro.